Have you ever noticed that two companies can hire for same exact role, business analyst, yet have completely different expectation from the person they hire? In some companies, BAs are expected to work closely with stakeholder, conduct workshop, gather requirement, and create business document. In other companies, the same business analyst title may require SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Python, reporting, dashboard, and data analysis skills. So the question is, are these really the same business analyst role? So in today's video, we are going to break this down in a very practical manner. We'll compare product-based and service-based opportunity. We'll also look at real job description and use a simple 60-40% rule to determine whether a role is closer to traditional business analyst opportunity or business analytics opportunity. And finally, we'll discuss how AI is changing the expectation from business analyst and why the future is moving towards an AI-enabled techno-functional business analyst role. Let's get started. Let's start with the first example. Let's assume Axis Bank is reaching out to Zomato and their expectation is Zomato is going to help us with a software solution from scratch. Imagine this yourself. Do you think Zomato is going to take interest with this expectation from Axis Bank? The answer to that is Zomato is least interested. Reason, any of these product-based companies are always clear with what is the product roadmap or vision that they have into consideration. And that is where, if you look at any of these product-based organizations, they are going to be very, very specific with what business metrics that they are trying to capture as far as their product is concerned. So if you look at Zomato, doing a lot of business metrics in form of reports and dashboard, because these are eventually going to help Zomato take decision for their growth strategy. And that is where they are definitely going to need someone who is having expertise of capturing all these information in form of data. Similarly, if I talk about the next scenario, again, let's say Axis Bank is now reaching out to one of a vendor, Accenture, for the same ask they had. That is software solution from scratch. And that is where, surprisingly, not just Accenture, but all these service-based organizations, be it TCS, Wipro, Infosys, HCL Tech, IBM, any of these organizations will be definitely interested to help any client looking for digital transformation, be it from maintenance or be it working on any software solution they are already using since last couple of years. Now imagine if you are working with Accenture, you will observe that your organization is not supporting just banking domain. They are going to support all possible 25 plus domains that exist to be associated with IT industry as far as the digital transformation is concerned. Be it Indian restaurant, be it airline domain, be it even Indian defense looking forward to upgrade themselves. That is where important for all of us to understand, if you are someone going to work with a service-based organization, your role is going to revolve around digital transformation, where it is very important for you to understand what are the challenges businesses are facing so that later upon in time, we can support them with a digital transformation. So your job is going to understand what module features they are expecting so that we can try to help them with whatever software solutions that they are looking, be it website, mobile application, CRM, ERP, or the web application. Now let us try to analyze some of the job description and try to implement 60-40% rule. So if you try to observe, Zepto is hiring for business analyst opportunity, and these are the requirements set that they have mentioned. Proficiency in SQL, Python, R, Tableau, and couple of other skills they have mentioned. So the job designation says business analyst. However, if we are able to analyze, they are actually hiring for business analyst come data analyst role, which is focusing more on the analytics side. Similarly, if you try to go over another opportunity, let's say Agile Info is one of a service-based company, they're looking for Ahmedabad, Gujarat location. If we try to go over this requirement, roles and responsibility, look at those jargons. Statement of work, which capture in scope, out of scope, BRD, FRS, SRS, workflow chart, requirement gathering, excellent written and verbal communication skill, gap analysis, gathering information. So these are those expectations that companies are expecting as far as service-based hiring are concerned. Similarly, there is another product-based organization looking for business analyst. It says excellent problem-solving skill, produce and review product requirement document, product strategies, functional, non-functional requirement, converting the product vision into business and software requirement, which means this is also revolving around business analysis. So that is where the thumb rule is you always have to analyze the job description. If it is matching 60% of the skills that you are aware, you are confident that I am going to explain these terminologies, these jargons in my interview process, you should definitely go ahead and appear for those opportunity, because you will not find any job opportunity or a job description where you're going to be 100% confident with that given job description and then going to explain that to the recruiter as far as that interview is concerned. That is where now if you try to compare business analysis versus business analytics. So most of the product-based companies hiring, they might mention that they're looking for a business analyst. But if you try to observe their job description, you will observe that they're hiring majorly for business analyst come data analyst, which is more on the analytics side, which is a business analytics role. And these are the expectation. Data cleaning preparation, analysis exploration, statistical knowledge, creating data visualization, creating dashboard and report, written and communication. However, if you talk about service-based, which is a very, very interactive role, these are the core expectation. You should be very good with BA fundamental, BA technique, different tools, methodology, requirement understanding, different deliverables, and the most important, stakeholder engagement, as this role involves too much on the people skill side. Now, that is where, if we look at this given comparison, this can be the case for a traditional business analyst role. Now that we have compared product-based and service-based opportunity, business analysis and business analytics, one thing should be very clear. The future is no longer about choosing between analysis and data. Companies are increasingly looking for professionals who understand both business and technology while leveraging AI efficiently. This is where the concept of AI-enabled techno-functional business analyst come into picture. You don't necessarily need to become an expert in Python, Tableau, Power BI, and data science. However, having a basic understanding of data, metrics, reporting, and AI tool can significantly increase your value as a business analyst. And that is where I will recommend you to explore tools like Zebra AI. Now, let us try to understand on the career transition side. If your strength lie in stakeholder management, communication, requirement gathering, problem solving, business understanding, your career can naturally progress towards you start as a business analyst, climb up the ladder as a senior business analyst. Later point, you can go into product owner and product manager role. However, if your interest is more on data, reporting, dashboard, statistics, analytics thinking, you can start into business analytics, go to a data analyst role, followed by data scientist, and then the data architecture. So neither path is right or wrong. The key understanding is which role you are choosing is going to be meaningful on the long-term career aspiration. So I hope now you will definitely be able to compare business analysis and business analytics role, not just by the job title, but by trying to read the job description and then having a clear understanding what kind of role these organizations are hiring for. And if these videos are actually giving you the practical understanding of these core differences, make sure you share this with your circle and ensure that you subscribe to the channel so that we are motivated as team to come up with more such videos in the near future. Looking forward.